We will tear your souls apart.
So on to our next topic, and this is regarding to a completely different movie, considering it's almost the Halloween season by the time we're recording this. I don't know if you're going to upload this on Halloween, but...
probably before Halloween, I think.
Probably before Halloween?
I have my schedule, like, my...
yeah, he's got schedule, folks.
You have to.
Yep. Yeah, no, I post things in advance, too, with my music.
Right.
Yeah, so in the spirit of Halloween, we're going to do like a what-if scenario.
Right.
And this is regarding Halloween 6.
How to fix it.
Yeah, how to fix Halloween 6. And I know what you guys are probably thinking as you're watching this. You're like, Halloween 6 was horrible. There's no way to fix it. Well, we're going to try.
Yes.
Well... we're going to go over the guys of you probably seeing this movie first. If you guys haven't seen the movie, go see it so you know what we're talking about, and then come back to this podcast. But to go on to it, I mean, how to fix Halloween 6. Now, the cult thing I thought was interesting. Having Michael tied to this cult, or this Halloween cult, interesting. Making him his own dad or making him Uncle Dad, bad decision. Yes, bad decision, bad execution. The stuff with Tommy could have been interesting. I'd say make it less about the star lying and less science fiction-y, and kind of give it, kind of tie it with Halloween 3. Now, I know everybody hates Halloween 3, but hear me out, okay? We have the whole superstition of getting back to the Halloween roots and the day of Samhain and whatever, or Samhain, however you want to pronounce it.
I hear it pronounced differently, so there's really
however you want to pronounce it, tomato. Okay, let that kind of be like a supernatural, like the supernatural force of Halloween be the reason why Michael is been able to stay alive. Like, if we're going the supernatural route, let's take it there. He's got the thorn tattoo. We can still have the cult that can be tied into the organization from Halloween 3. Again, we're hoping that you've watched Halloween 3 so you understand what we're talking about. But that could be tied in with the organization from Halloween 3, and you get rid of the Uncle Dad, you get rid of all the extra stuff, and just keep it the spirit of Halloween, or the demonic force of Halloween is what keeps Michael coming back every Halloween. Make him supernatural. I know people like to say that he's a real guy. Me personally, if I was to do a timeline, not to get off topic, if I was to do a timeline, it really should have been the original Halloween and Halloween 2. Even though I like H2O.
Well, remember what I said on previous podcasts. Remember, you can't kill the boogeyman.
Right. If we're going off that premise, and that supernatural premise...
I just had to say that. You made me say it.
Right. Make him like the spiritual embodiment of Halloween. And that thorn tattoo being not the source of his power, but the mark of Halloween. Sort of like how Sam is in Trick or Treat, sort of like this demon. Make Michael kind of this spiritual force, the shape of Halloween, if you will. Right. And I feel like if you were to go that direction, a much more supernatural direction, with Michael. Matter of fact, I would love if you were to do a Halloween type of sequel. Not that we need any more Halloween movies at this point, but if I was to do a recommendation, get the guy who did Trick or Treat, the 07 movie. That's why I'm emphasizing the R, because it is Trick R, letter R, Treat. So I would love for him to direct a Halloween movie with Michael. And
Right.
if he wants
I
to
can see
steal
that.
if he wants to steal our idea, he can.
I can see that. That's
But
gonna happen, but I would be open minded for that.
yeah, but I feel like that's the way you could fix it. Like,
Right.
there's nothing wrong with the cult of Michael, but take out the baby, take out the emphasis on family, because Laurie Strode is nowhere to be found, and yeah, take out the whole like killing off Jamie, kind of.
I agree.
Leave Jamie's story arguably at 4, right? Leave her at 4. 5 was rushed, and 5 I don't think needed to really exist. But leave her at 4, right?
Right.
And
we got to make the money.
Got to make the money. The money is mine. But yeah, if you're gonna go with the supernatural cult idea, tie it to Halloween. Make Michael the embodiment of Halloween, of Samhain. They even reference it in the second movie. Loomis is talking about Samhain or Samhain or however, right, in one scene. Make that, tie that in. And that makes perfect sense of like, okay, why he has the black eyes, why he's a force of Halloween. And that's how I think you should fix it. But
right.
Anyway, John, your 2 cents? How you would go?
Well, like I said, right at the bat, I agree. No Uncle Dad. Let's fax
that angle.
Let's cut that out, and I'm okay with the baby. Just like, okay, there's no, like, we don't know the father. It could have been just some random cult member.
Yeah.
And also, bring back Danielle Harris, and she lives in the movie. She doesn't die. That's my one version right there.
Okay, so we're having that like we're still. Your version is more focused on the family.
Yes, a little bit to a degree, but
to a lesser degree.
Nothing too extreme. It'll be like, I guess, cliched where the baby was going to be killed as some kind of sacrifice or something. Michael wanted to kill it, and then they saved the day. They saved the baby's life.
Yeah. Okay.
And Jamie.
Okay, so very, very straightforward.
A little bit. Yeah, I know, maybe a little bit cliche, but that's just me.
It's still good. I'd still watch. Still good.
Right.
Still very good.
Yes, and of course we gotta bring back Loomis. We need Loomis. It's never Halloween without Loomis.
Yeah. And like I said, like, again, going back to my idea, right? If we're gonna kill off Loomis, right? Have Loomis discover that, or have Loomis actually tell people why he calls them evil, right?
Right.
It's because he's the spiritual embodiment of Halloween. He's controlled by the unholy spirit of Halloween.
Right.
I think that's a cool idea, and that ties in with the title, and it could even tie in with the dumb title of The Curse of Michael Myers. Okay, what is the curse? The Curse of Halloween, of course. Makes perfect sense.
The other thing too is they don't explain like how like Danny may have the same kind of like that he hear the voices like Michael Myers did, and also the babysit.
They really wanted to go.
Where the hell were you? The babysit.
They really wanted to go like she's the next version. She's connected to him, which is, I guess, a cool idea. I don't know.
Again, it's like, where the hell was this woman? She said she babysat Michael Myers the night he killed his sister. Where the hell were you? I see the first movie hundreds of times. I didn't see you around.
Yeah, I like 4. I do. I like the atmosphere of 4. I like Jamie's character. But when we get into 5, where she can like, telepathically feel what he feels and sees what he sees.
Right.
It's like it's like the last time we saw her, she was going to be the next Shape. That's where they were going with that.
That's the direction they were going.
Spoilers for like a 40-something-year-old movie, but
when I met Danielle Harris, she said the reason why that just didn't go forward is because of like how they didn't think that no one would take that seriously because people wanted to see Michael Myers, not like a kid being the killer. Yet
Well,
we had seen before.
here's how you kind of fix that, right? You don't make it immediately after, right? You essentially not necessarily remake Halloween with her, but you fast forward a bit,
Yeah,
right? Maybe
Yeah, sure.
maybe this time around we have her kind of instead of her as an adult, like catatonic, like in the asylum, right?
right.
She hasn't spoken. It's reminiscent of Michael, but maybe a little different. Not remake or a ripoff, but I feel like there's a way to make that work. And heck, you can even go with a fully adult Jamie, right? Maybe she's living a normal life, and then suddenly again. I like the idea of the force of Halloween being the thing that changes the character, right?
Right.
If we're going, if we're going that route, maybe there's something that happens that triggers her to become the next shape. But
Right.
it makes more sense to age her up and to fast forward a little bit to where she's of age, right? Either have her catatonic in asylum, but I don't like that idea because that's a little bit too close to Michael.
Right.
So
I've heard rumors about the possibility they may want to like continue Halloween 4 and bring like ignore 5 and 6 and just like where she was locked up for years, Jamie. But again, that can go either way, and I'm not.
yeah, and it's just like you don't want to retread Halloween 1, really.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like the asylum idea. I feel like that's way too close to Michael's upbringing.
Right.
I like the idea of maybe her growing up, living a normal life, maybe haunted by that night.
Maybe.
Right? And
Yeah,
instead of Michael coming back again, maybe like I said, and they kind of played around with this idea in 5. Some force or some voice, some sort of schizophrenic voice that turns out to be the spirit of Halloween, changes her into that.
Right.
Maybe slowly. And then at the end, we get, her finally, maybe not necessarily putting on the Michael Myers mask, having her own version of it.
Right.
But very Halloween-esque, of course.
Right.
And sort of being the new Michael Myers, but not really, not really kind of its own thing, right?
Right. Gotcha.
I know people wouldn't be happy with that idea, but if you're gonna go that route, I'd say that's probably the best route.
Right. But like I said, that could still go either way depending on like, people's opinions or what to expect.
Right, and I think some people would like that, but like I said, I think especially with 6, the opportunity of the force that drives Michael, if there has to be a force, not being the like literal embodiment of Halloween, it's a missed opportunity to make the Halloween name make sense.
Right.
Because it's not called it's not called Michael Myers, though arguably it has this subtitle of The Curse of Michael Myers. But to make make more sense, okay, what's the curse then? What's the curse? It's not Michael. It's okay. What's driving Michael? What's the force driving Michael, making Michael survive all these times?
The title of it doesn't make sense. Like what is the curse? Like you said.
Right. That's why I pitched the idea of the evil force of Halloween, and it could be not something visual, but something you can direct, almost like a chill in the air.
Right.
Something that he feels, something that drives him, and you can kind of play around with the visuals because it shouldn't be an actual being.
Right.
You know, we shouldn't go Hellraiser thing, and it's not a pumpkin head.
Well,
It should be a literal force of evil, right?
like I said in the past, there was almost the Hellraiser versus Michael Myers Halloween.
I still say if you're going to do a crossover with Hellraiser, I really think it should have been Freddy.
Right.
Freddy would have probably made the most sense. Heck, you can even throw in Evil Dead.
Right.
And they did try and do that with the Necronomicon in the comics of him getting the powers of the Necronomicon. But I feel like, that's a story for another time. I think we talked about it when we did the Nightmare on Elm Street retrospective.
Yes, and I talked about briefly why they did not go forward with Pinhead versus Michael Myers.
Yeah, it was down to studio.
Yep, pretty much.
Studios wouldn't cooperate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Halloween 6 is a film that can go either way, how they could fix this movie, how it could have been better, but what could have, should have, as you say.
Could have, should have not.
Yeah.
All these things unanswered.
Yeah, I know, and I feel like if they also, I think they should have bring back the original Tommy Doyle actor, but at that time, there was no such thing as social media in the 90s to find the guy.
Yeah. Yep. Almost, but not quite.
Yeah, exactly, because that's what they originally wanted. They wanted the original actor who played Tommy Doyle, but his whereabouts were unknown. That's how they got Paul Rudd to do the part.
What could have been?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, here's something they could have probably done for parody movies.
What's that?
Considering Paul Rudd went on, because wasn't he? I'm confusing actors. Never mind. I was confusing. Was it Jason Biggs with American Pie?
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna go with like American Pie crossed with Halloween. Pumpkin Pie. I don't know.
That right there, you're parodying it at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, Stiffer was the first one to die, Mr. Sex Maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Stifler's definitely not a virgin.
No. Not a virgin! But is there anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see. With Halloween 6, I'm thinking about... Also, one thing. In the movie, he said he had plastic surgery. Nah, keep the scar. It'll remind Loomis why he hates Michael Myers.
Yeah. Yeah, and I liked the scarred Loomis look. I thought it was
cool.
Exactly.
I mean, I get it. He may want to have plastic surgery to remove it, but it's like, come on, leave it until you really get rid of Michael Myers. Then you
right, exactly. It's just
I mean, this is a minor error here, but still. And also, did we really need to have the Howard Stern jerk guy who was? I mean, not that he was Howard Stern, but that was the idea. He was mocking Howard Stern. Get rid of this character. I didn't give a shit about him.
Yeah, just useless characters. Not as bad as Buster Rhymes and Tyra Banks.
Yeah, you got
not a franchise killer like that, but pretty close.
Yeah, that's true, but still, I would write off this Howard Stern jerk that I didn't care for.
Yeah, I don't even remember the character. That's
me neither. Except for the fact that that girl who was the daughter of the abusive father had a brother and a girlfriend. Yeah, I really don't care about these characters.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What could have been.
Also, the way the father dies, his head explodes. Keep that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. I mean, that's the positives you can say about this movie. The atmosphere is still there, and the kills are pretty awesome.
To a degree, but it's like, I've seen it done better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, actually, the mother should have lived and survived. She was innocent. The father was a jerk-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, they clearly, at this point, were just going for exploitation. They were in a punch clock. They're like, there's nothing we can do about it. To quote Rob Zombie during the making of his Munsters remake, it's not going to get any better.
Yeah, like I said, I think now I can't think of anything else I might want to add fix Halloween 6. Except we didn't talk about Wynn's character.
Yeah.
How would you fix that, or
Wayne's character
the way it is? What?
I don't necessarily know. Like I said, I like my idea of of Halloween kind of being this force,
Right.
and that's what's driving Michael. The less on, like, I guess you can put the Paul Rudd character, but like I said, what kind of clocked me out for that is, like, it tried to make it with the stars and the alignment of the symbology. It tried to basically put Halloween under a microscope, and I'm like, no,
Right.
you're missing the spiritual element. And you
Right.
should have kept that. You
Right.
should have kept that.
Right. Yeah, this is a film that can go either way, and we'll never have a really definitive answer how to fix this movie. And
But it definitely should. We definitely should do this with other films in the past.
Yeah.
At least bad films, or films that
yeah, exactly.
we consider bad, which could be a loaded gun, because if we're touching your favorites, listen, this is a kind of shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
So no offense if one of those films in the future happens to be your favorite, don't worry, it's your favorite. You can love that movie.
True.
And
true.
that's why we do this. We talk about the movies we love.
Yeah, true. Anyway, I guess we can move on at this point because I've been